So the important features of the peer interactive strategies lies on developing the students' oral skills, the students' convergent and divergent thinking skills, their organizational skills, and their argumentation skills. So when we talk about the features of the peer interactive strategies, we have here various types. So one of the features of peer interactive strategies is the class discussions. So class discussion could be used in a variety of courses and disciplines. The members usually engage in discussions where sometimes there may not really be a correct answer, as in interpreting classic work and literature. So, more importantly, the students may take interest in or make sense of what they are reading. So, in class discussions, here are the following guidelines to promote an effective discussion. So, it should focus on topics that lend themselves to multiple perspectives, explanations, or approaches. Like, for example, in terms of literature, so students are being lent multiple perspectives and explanations or approaches in understanding literature. Then next is it makes sure that students have prior knowledge about the topic or discussion. Then the classroom has an atmosphere conducive to open debate and constructive evaluation of ideas. So, in order to have effective discussion, dapat a classroom atmosphere is also open for debate and constructive criticisms in terms of presenting their perspectives and ideas. Then it should be the class discussion should be structured in some way for it to be effective. So, at the end of the discussion, some closure should be provided. So, um, in having in order to promote an effective discussion, dapat they should be provided with closure or a brief summary kung unsa man jud ang topic or what are the summaries and um, explanations and conclusions of the topics that is being discussed. Then next feature is reciprocal teaching. So by the word reciprocal, which means the teacher first and then ang students na pod ang mag-teach. So and vice versa. So this involves that the teacher and students taking turns to lead the discussion and asking questions. So by the definition, it involves that the teacher and students taking turns or first kay ang teacher ang mag-discuss and the students listen. Then next, the students will discuss and the teacher will evaluate or assess kung sakto ba ang i-discuss sa students. So, how it works, how the reciprocal teaching works. So, for the first minute, the teacher leads the discussion, and after some time, the teacher turns over her role to a student who will then lead the discussion and ask questions that the teachers modeled. Then, next feature is the cooperative learning. So, by the word cooperative, which means together, working together. So, for cooperative learning to be successful, some structure must be in place and such that cooperation is not just helpful, but it is necessary for academic success. So, in cooperative learning, it involves cooperation between the students in order for have an academic success. So, there are also features of cooperative learning. So, first feature is students work in small teacher-assigned groups. Groups have one or more common goals towards which to achieve. So, dapat ang group has only one or more common goals in order for them to achieve para na sila direction on what to reach. Next is students have clear guidance on how to behave. So, ang students are given clear guidance on how to behave in a cooperative learning environment. The next, group members must depend on one another or their success. So, the group members must depend on one another. In short, they should be working together in order for them to succeed. Next is a structure is provided to encourage productive behaviors. So, in cooperative learning, there is also a structure that is provided para mas mas productive ang ilaang behaviors sa mga bata in learning. Then, also, the teacher serves primarily as resource person and monitor. So, ang teacher, they are being the resource person and the monitor in a cooperative learning class. So, they lead the direction or the path of how the learning should be going. Next is, the students are accountable for their achievement. So, paunsa magbehave ang students in a cooperative learning environment so that they are also accountable kung unsa ilang ma-achieve. Next is, students are rewarded for group success. So, kung unsa ang result sa ilang group, kung paunsa nila i-handle ang each other, they are also rewarded for their group success. Then last, so at the completion of the activity, each group evaluates its effectiveness. Kung unsa ka effective ang ilang group or ang ilang pag-cooperate sa each other. So there is an evaluation for its effectiveness. Then next feature is peer tutoring. So, in these strategies, students who have mastered the topic and know it by heart teaches those who haven't. So, in peer tutoring, we have here student A and student B. Si student A is have mastered the topic or kanang knowledgeable siya ning topic. So, iyang teach or tutor si student B nga wala siya kabalo sa topic. So that is how peer tutoring works. So, under the structure, students with achievement difficulties can ask questions more easily and get immediate feedback and not readily available in a regular classroom. So, in this structure daw, we have the students with achievement difficulties kay maka-ask sila og questions and ma-answer ra dayon sa ilang peers nga nag-tutor sa ilaa. So here are the following guidelines to teachers for peer teaching to be effective. So para ma-effective ang peer tutoring, here are the following are the guidelines. So first, the teacher should make sure that tutors have mastered the materials being taught and used sound instructional techniques. So, dapat pod ang katong bata nga magtudlo sa iyang kauban or sa iyang peer, he or she should master or know the materials. The teacher should make sure also that that student know the materials very well nga gitudlo niya sa iyang peers for in order for us to avoid nga ang matudlo sa katong student nga kuan is insakto. The next is structured interaction can improve the effectiveness of peer teaching. So, ang structured interaction or the step-by-step process of interacting with each other can be effective in peer tutoring. So, dapat structured, planned ang interaction or the way nga i-tutor ni student A si student B for it to be effective. The next, teachers can use peer tutoring for kids with special needs. So, we have kids with special needs, especially children with disabilities. So, peer tutoring also works to them. tutoring does not have to be limited to same age peers. So, tutoring can vary in different ages. So, pwede mag-tutor si um, higher grades to lower grades, and also kanang same level of ages lang ang mag-tutor sa each other. So, it does not limit on same age peers lang. So lastly, we have the communities of learners. So for peer interactive methods, a sense of community is needed. This means teacher and students have shared goals, respect, and support for and one's effort, and that each one makes an important contribution to classroom learning. So, in communities of learners, in a peer interactive method, there should be a sense of community in the classroom so that the teacher and the students have a shared common goals, respect for each other, support, and one's effort in order to have a contribution in each learning. So, meaning the teacher will teach and the children will have an interactive discussion with the teachers, and the students will answer questions that the teacher poses. So, teacher and students collaborate to build a body of knowledge about a topic and help one another to learn more about it. So, that is the purpose of the interactive discussion with the teachers and the students. So, there are characteristics of a classroom that is a community of learners. So, first, all students are active participants in classroom activities. So, in a community of learners classroom, the students are participative in classroom activities. Then, the primary goal is to acquire a body of knowledge on a specific topic. So, that is the goal of a community of learners classroom. Next, students draw from many resources such as books, internet, film to learn more about the topic. So, next is discussion and collaboration among the students occur regularly. Then, variations in students' interest rates of learning is respected. So, the variation of students' interest and rates of learning are being respected since not everyone can catch up more quickly than the others. So, every learning rates of students are being respected. So, so next is everyone is a potential resource for others. So in a communities of learners classroom, everyone is a potential resource for others because everyone is interacting and have different ideas. So one person can be a resource of another. Next is teachers provide some guidance and directions for classroom activities, and student may also contribute. Then, mechanisms for sharing what was learned are in place. Then, constructive questioning and critiquing are commonplace. Then, the process of learning is emphasized sometimes more than the product. So, in the communities of learners, the process of learning is emphasized and sometimes more than the product. So, ang proseso ang mas binibigyan ng emphasis, or they give more emphasis on the process than the actual result or the product of the learning. And that concludes my report, the chapter 7. Thank you for listening.